So in a homestead, there is life and death. And with chickens, that's usually the case a lot of times. Although a lot of people keep their chickens for a long period of time. For us, it seems like there's one a year that happens to die. I hope this is the only one this year. Now, I think it is because of an extremely aggressive rooster. I have 2 roosters in this coop, and one of them needs to go because the other day they really tore each other up. And then I saw them picking on one hen a little bit, but not too bad because they all looked a little picked on. But unfortunately, I opened up the coop today and yeah, he did it, I believe. So can you stop an aggressive rooster from doing that? Sometimes yes and sometimes no. So my children have seen this before, and it is important if you live out on a homestead that they understand life and death because it's part of life. So the girls have named the chickens. I don't know any of the names, so I brought them out here. They need to know that the chicken is gone. YouTube won't let me show that on camera, and you probably don't want to see that anyway. Can you tell me who this is?
It's Cutie. Oh, Cutie, no.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, come on. Well, the girls are throwing flowers in the hole, so we'll let them do that. They understand what life and death is all about, like I said before. This is kind of an unofficial graveyard. It turned out to be on the side of my stable over here. Animals that have attacked my animals, animals that have been killed by other animals, animals that have been just naturally died. There's a lot over here, and it is just what it is. It's the best spot that I have for everything.
Yeah. Goodbye, Cheesy.
Yep.
Yeah, you're already dead.
So I've always got to put something on top of these little graves that I dig because my dog, Duke, whom you all know, loves to he loves to dig things up. Every time I put something over here, if I don't put something metal or something concrete over the top of it, he's got it out like in a matter of 20 minutes.
Great.
So I've got an old fire pit here, steel fire pit. I just put a piece of concrete on the top of it, and that usually keeps him from digging in the area. So too few kids understand what life and death are all about, and kids who are trapped in the city really don't know anything about it, except if you come from a pretty nasty neighborhood where you might get that on a human scale, unfortunately. My little one is yelling at the rooster for the probability that he killed one of the hens. She's shaking her fist at him. So talk about these things with your kids. They will understand. Just explain it to them kindly, and they'll get it. Now, sometimes multiple roosters do get along just fine. The other day, these two beat each other up really bad. It actually was for about 2 days in a row. They were both very, very bloody. Both of them healed up just fine, and they've left each other alone since then. Chicken behavior is interesting. The one with the louder crow is the one without any tail feathers. The hens have pecked out his tail feathers, but the others remain on the other rooster, who's got a very weak crow. That tough guy right there, as soon as you turn your back, will run up behind you and try to spur you. So he gets kicked a lot because he's tried to attack me numerous times. And I should have taken him out at that point, but he had never really been super aggressive with anybody else except for the other rooster. Now, of course, there's the normal courting behavior, and there's some little bald patches on the backs of some of my hens from both of the roosters, but there was no indication really that he would become this aggressive this quick. It's only been in the past week or so. They've got a lot to do in there. We put fresh greens in there all the time. We put a lot of other like scraps in there for them to claw at and to keep them busy. So boredom is one reason that a rooster will start to attack hens because there's just nothing else to do. I can try to remove him from the coop and put him in a small isolation coop that I have. I have a tiny little coop that a company sent me, and it's perfect for sick chickens in isolation. So if you haven't seen that video, click at the top of the screen. I may try that first before I take them out, if you know what I mean. So with all of my hens, I've never noticed the pecking from a rooster from courting to be that bad where I need to buy them a saddle. And they should have plenty of space inside on the roosting bar and out here as well. Sometimes if there just isn't enough space, then they will start to attack each other a little bit more because, again, they're bored in a small confined space. They're gonna do that. So in the near future, I plan on hatching out some chicks. And so with that, we need a bigger coop to house everybody. So this project behind me is going to be a brand new chicken coop, and actually it's going to double as our solar room for our barn. I'm going to partition off the inside of it, and it'll house the solar equipment and the chickens on the other side. And it'll be a much bigger space for them. And it should accommodate up to about 30 chickens. Right now, as of this morning, we were sitting at 18, but now we have 17. So especially with an aggressive rooster, you have to keep them occupied and you have to keep them in a space that's large enough. And then also, they have to have a good diet, because if they don't have a good diet, they can tend to be a little bit more aggressive. So a well-balanced diet, a well-rounded diet is going to be good for them and their behavior. So with a rooster, you need to be able to tell the difference between bullying a chicken, harming a chicken, or just overactive mating rituals with them. Roosters usually do have favorites for mating, and those are the ones that'll get harassed the most. So I know what you're thinking. Well, was it somebody else? Was it the other hens that picked on her? Was it a predator that got in there during the night? I've checked everything. I've checked the chicken itself, and it's pretty likely that it was the rooster. And while I'm not 100%, he has been extremely aggressive with everyone. I won't let my daughter actually go into the coop anymore because he was so aggressive. The other rooster, she can actually pick up, turn on its side, and she's like the chicken whisperer with that one, and he loves it. But that second rooster, not a chance. So if your roosters aren't very aggressive with anybody else, but just a little overactive in their mating rituals and really kind of picking and bullying on one or two hens, you can put that saddle on them, or you can trim the nails on the spurs of the rooster. And then, like I said, you can separate them as well. And if none of that really works, you got to get rid of them. So I know a lot of people are going to have a comment about dead chickens and aggressive roosters and maybe possibly taking out that rooster. I want to talk about how I handle animals. I handle caring for animals biblically. So God put us here, He put us in the garden, and He told us to tend to the garden and care for His creation and care for the animals. So after sin, everything was infected with sin. Humans, the earth, the plants, the animals, everything. And animals now are incredibly aggressive. I want to pose this to you. In the Garden of Eden, did lions eat lambs? No. In heaven, will the lions eat the lambs? No. But right now, since everything is infected with sin, everything eats everything, right? Or everything picks on everything, or everything kills everything else. So I will love and care for these creatures as God asked me to do, but then also understanding sin is in them and in the world. And if there's an aggressive animal that would kill me, or harm my kids, or kill my other animals, then we've got to take care of that animal so that it doesn't do it anymore. A coyote or a stray dog that would carry off one of my kids and tear apart one of my kids would meet its end really quick if I came across it. Because I know that sin has infected them, I don't have a problem with that. The raccoons that killed my kittens a couple years ago, they're gone. The raccoons that killed my neighbor's chickens, they're gone. The wild boars that tore down my fence and got into my property and threw my dog for a loop, yeah, my kids were out here at that time. They met an end really quick. But I didn't know if you saw our new cat. He randomly showed up on my property, and he was a lover. So he didn't fight with my cats. The dog liked him. He got to stay. He got neutered, and now he's a part of the family. Every day on the homestead gives me the opportunity to talk about something new with you guys, and I'm really appreciative of that. even if I did lose a chicken. So if you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments section below. Now go click on this video, which shows you how we built these mobile coops, which we turned into chicken tractors, but never really moved them that much. Have a great day. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.